Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away, and today I thought we'll end the week by doing the next 6 stages, stages 57 to 62 of the Fanhome release of Build the John Wick Mustang. Now just looking at these packs here, some of these have got some large parts in, some of them have got pipes. So I think it's going to be a mixed bag of easy stuff and difficult stuff, but we're going to find that out together. I think we were working, you know what, I haven't got a clue what we were working on last time. I've got it down on the floor here, but I haven't had a look at it, so we'll do that together. If you want to get this for yourself, I'll put a link in the video description, and you've got that QR code on the screen. But without further ado, let's get cracking. So here you go. This is where we got up to with the chassis, the engines in, the interiors in as well. I'm just going to put that to one side, and let's have a look at stage 57. So here's the instructions, and we've got some parts here for the right control arm that we're going to be creating. It looks like we're turning the car over to put this in, so it's looking just like this. We're also starting to do the steering rack, because at the moment these hub carriers here are just loose. And this is the rest of the magazine. And here is stage 57. So I think this is going to be one of the ones which are a little bit difficult to do. My finger's looking worse today, as you can see. So first thing we want is the right control arm with the right strut rod. We're going to be connecting these together. And basically all I'm going to do, whoops, apart from dropping this, is putting this over the top of these here, just like that, holding them in with D screws. And it's going to take 2 of these. Now let's just put that all to one side, so I can bring this over and turn this upside down. Not too worried about the brake disc falling out there. I'll put that in afterwards. But the next thing I've got is this control arm bracket looking like that. This is actually going to be going into the position just here. And I'm holding that in with an F screw. Going into metal, so I have put that in some oil, and also I'm going to use my PH1 screwdriver. It's going to give me some more torque on this. Now I do think the instructions are wrong in this bit, okay, because I'm going to do my own thing here. We've got basically the control arm to put in. They want me to put this in afterwards. I think you put this in before, because that sits in like this here, and then we've got this little clip which is going to go on top of this to keep this into place here, just like this. There's no way to get that through there if you were to put this on first. The instructions is telling you to do that. I don't know why. Okay, so we're going to put the screws in here. I've got a K screw, which is a flange screw, just going into the end here. I've got a D screw going into the hole just here, which is going to be for the drop link to fit into from this anti-roll bar here. And then finally we've got an L screw, which is a silver screw, very long one, which is going to be holding this control arm into place through this side. Get that all the way through and screw that in. And there we go. That is in place there. Perfect. Put that to one side. So then I'm going to be taking this part here, and the steering linkage that we created in the last stage, I'm going to be putting this in, making sure this is in the same way as that one. And I'm holding that in with an F screw. And with that done, that's all there is to do in that stage. Okay, stage 58. Here's the instructions. And we've got the power steering cylinder now that we're going to be creating, putting this all into place. It looks like we get to attach that steering inside as well. We've got the neighbour's dogs waking everyone up this morning. That's not my dogs. That's the neighbour's dogs. Okay, first thing I want is this piece here, and I'm going to take some glue, because I've got 2 nipples just here. I want to just coat them in a little bit of glue, because I'm about to put these pipes in here, and you know me, these pipes have got this habit of falling out. So one in there, and one there. Bit more glue, because now I've got 2 nipples on this side here, because I'm going to want to get these into place. So once again, one that side and one that side. So that is how that should look. Now, bringing over the steering linkage again, I want it this way round. I'm going to be putting this into this side here, just like that. And I'm holding that in from the other side with an eye screw. And as you can see, this is a flange screw. And then I'm just going to move this all over here, because now is the time that we're going to start putting this onto this section here. Okay, so the part that's coming from the steering wheel here, the steering shaft, that's going to go into this hole. I'm pulling this all over the place. That's going to be going into the hole just there. That's going to kind of line this up to where it's going to go. Now, the first hub carrier is going to go on that side there, and it's going to be held in with a K screw. Then we're going to do exactly the same at the other side here. I'm just going to move this so it's the same way as the picture. In stage 53, we had this connector here. This is going to be going onto these points here, and there's a certain direction it comes into because it slopes down. Once again, that's going to be held in with K screws. Just put that at the back there while I just sort out these parts here. And basically what we've got is this power cylinder steering bracket. So the way we're going to do this is going to go into the indented side here. It's going to be held in with an E screw. Perfect. And then what's going to happen is this is going to go down the shaft here. Hopefully you can see that. And it's going to attach to the chassis just there. And we're attaching it to the chassis once again with these E screws. All that's left to do is this part here now that I've got left hanging is actually just going to go into the hole on the side here. And there we go. And with that in, that's all there is to do in that stage. Now bear in mind, we do have some springs left over. We've also got some H screws left over as well. So in stage 59, here's the instructions. Look at all these pipes. Oh my God. Okay, looks like we're creating the firewall now. So we're going to be putting all of these parts together here, just like this. This is the rest of the magazine. Oh, okay. I haven't been looking forward to this stage. Right, let's try and cut this open without cutting through any of the pipes. And the first thing I'm going to do is just make the brake reservoir here, which means putting the reservoir just on top like this. And then just putting a cap in place, which is in here. It's the smaller of the caps. There's two caps in here. So that looks like that. Now this is going to be attached to the firewall, which we've got here. And it's going to be going into the position just here, like that. Held in from the other side with a C screw. So, there you go. That's in. Now we've got to put some pipes in here. They're all different sizes. So let's grab these small pipes out and try and figure out what size is what. So I want the very smallest one first, which is this one here. And I will have my glue, because it's going to go on the very back nipple here onto this nipple at the top there. There's nipples here, as you can see. I am using glue. I don't want these to come out. Perfect. Now 59H is the next one up. So again, I'll get some glue ready for this. And on here. And get these into place. Perfect. Then I need the vacuum valve, which looks like that. That's just going to go into the center hole of the firewall here. It's quite a tight fit, so you're not going to need to glue that in. And then I've got the brake servo, which is actually just going to go right next to it on the part just here. And again, it's quite a tight fit, so that fits in like that. Now, on this side, we've got a whole heap of wires to put in here. That took me forever to sort out, you know. Okay, so we've got I, J, K, L, M, N, O. All the sizes for the cables are just down here, so you are going to need to get a ruler out to check them. Right, so we want M first. M is going to go into the two nipples here and here. Then we got L. L's going onto the center one there. And then basically on the little 3 that we've got here, then on the 2 bottom ones of these nipples here, we're going to have I. You can see while I'm using glue now, because I really don't want these falling out. And then I've got K. So I haven't used J yet. J's going on, K's going on the top one. Cool. J is going onto this little nipple just here, which is quite a short one. Like that. And then the 2 that we've got left, I've got O going next to that one. That's going to be going here. Which leaves the only other nipple that I've got, which is down the bottom here, is going to be for N. There is one nipple on here which hasn't got a pipe in, just so you know. I will show you this up close when I've got this one in. But that was a little bit tricky. There we go. So let's show you. So that's how that looks. That's how it looks on the other side. That's a whole heap of wires coming out of there. Okay, we get to put this into the car. So let's turn this around the right way. I am going to keep these off because they keep falling off while I keep turning it upside down. So making sure we don't pinch any of these cables here, probably best on the top camera. I'm now going to be putting this into place, which actually goes quite tight here. We've got a place for these pipes here to go into the firewall. Here and here. And then there's a slot. You see that just slotted in there. That's gone in really easy, actually. So the first cable I'm looking for is cable J, which is this one here. This is an 80mm cable. I'm going to be putting that onto the nipple just here. Again, I'm going to glue this into place. Perfect. Now, this cable here, this is 59L. This is going to be going into the side of the turbo here. We've got a little nipple just here for this to go in. This is for the sensor for the turbo. I'm trying to be meticulous on this build. I want to get I'm actually going to pass that through here. I think that makes more sense. I want to get the pipes in exactly where they're meant to go. So that's in there like that. And then we've got these 2 pipes M here, which are just going to be coming through the hole down here, and they're going to appear coming out of the radiator eventually. And basically these 2 pipes are M. And there you go, that's the 2 M pipes there. So got to turn this upside down now. So cable 59L, which was this cable here that came out, we need to pass this through the bottom here. It's going to be connecting to the starter motor basically. So what I'm going to do is just feed that through to the engine around this side, so it comes out the bottom, which as you can see has come out here. I'm plugging this into the starter motor. There's a little nipple on the starter motor here. Again, I'm going to put some glue on that. So that one's in, and then all I've got to do then, turn it back over again, and I want to take cable K, which if you remember on this Firewall was the top one on this side, which I've got here, is going to be connecting to the turbo just on this side here. Perfect. That's all there is to do in that stage. Now at the moment I'm already up to an hour doing those. Crazy. So just so you can know what we've got left, we've got N and O, which we haven't connected to anything, and we've got 2 M's coming out of the side here, and then on the other side over here we've still got 2 pipes which were I's, which we haven't put anywhere as well. Oh, that was a tough stage. does it get any easier? Stage 60 is the instructions. We've got the left engine bay side panel, which we're going to be putting into place and screwing this down. Now, there we go. Look, a nice easy stage. Okay, that's the rest of the magazine. First thing I want to do, this is metal by the way, is have this way round, and I'm going to be putting in a little bracket here, which is actually going to go onto this section just here. So that fits on like that. Holding it in with an E-screw. That'll keep that in place. And then I'm going to be putting this onto the car. So I've got it on its side here. Hopefully you can see this is actually just going to go in here like this. And it's held in with Q screws. Perfect. And with that in, that's all there is to do in that stage. Certainly a lot to do in this pack, isn't there? Stage 61. Here's the instructions. And then we've got the other wing now, exactly the same going on the other side, so that's another easy stage. And I'm just looking, I'm glancing over my shoulder just to see what the other thing is that we've got in the last stage. It's actually the fuel tank, so that shouldn't take long at all. But once again, I've got an E-screw here. Load up my screwdriver. It's exactly like we just done. I'm going to be putting this little detail here into here. And then securing this with an E-screw. And then get the Q screws out ready. Once again, make sure the cables are out the way when I put this on. This is just going to be going in here. Just like that. And again, a Q screws to hold these in. Perfect. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So the last stage of this pack, we're up to 1 hour 5 minutes now. Here's the instructions. As you can see, we've got the fuel tank here, which is where the batteries are actually going to go. So we are going to mount this into the car like that. So a nice quick way to end it after that pipe mayhem that we just had to do. We've still got a few pipes to connect to this build, so that's not the last time we've seen stages like that. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to put the batteries in at the moment, but I am going to put the battery box case in here, and I'm going to secure that down with a C screw. So that's not going to be able to move. By the look of it, we've already got the switch in here for us. We don't have to do that. A lot of builds we have to put the switches as well. That's already been done for us. So all we're left to do, if I bring this over and turn this upside down, is to just actually put the battery box into place. So it's going to go in this way. Make sure I'm not pinching any wires, just on there. And then I've got F screws, which are going to go into the 4 corners to hold this down. One of them going to be a little bit tricky because we've got the exhaust in the way. See if we can get that in now. Can I just part that just slightly so I can get through there? Yep, there we go. Cool. And then the final one just here. And with that done, that's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in this pack. So the H screws I have with the springs, I'm going to put them all together in this bag here because I don't want to lose them. We haven't been asked to use them at the moment. That can go in there. And then if I bring this over, give you an idea how that's looking, how big this actually is as well. Oh, they give me a headache, these ones. They're the pipes, but you know, we're getting there with them. I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.